One deck of cards, one regular D6, and one terribly painted mini. That's all you need for years of adventure. Not convinced? Well, I thought so too, because most TTRPGs I've played look more like this. Now, I've spent years running games packed with rulebooks, supplements, expansions, and campaign settings, but The Chaos by Venger's Decks manages to condense all of that into a single deck without losing any of the magic that makes TTRPGs so much fun. So let's see whether this tiny box can really deliver the depth, the variety, and above all, replayability that you normally expect from a much bigger system. Full disclosure though, Scott from Venger's Decks is my friend, so much so I even let him sit here. Hey? Just because you're sitting there doesn't mean there is any excuse for mercy. My name's Rich, this is Renegade Rolls, and welcome to my brutally honest review of The Chaos. What's that you've got in your hand, Scott?
This here is The Chaos. It's an old school inspired tabletop role-playing game contained entirely in a card deck.
So let's crack it open and see what he's managed to cram in here. In the box is a deck of 55 very nice double-sided cards. They're split into rules, character creation, running a game, a creature list, some more random tables, and a little tiny dungeon map card. As for the core rules, it's 1d6, roll 4 or more, or roll 3d6 and roll under your relevant stat. Stats are brawn, smarts, instinct, agility, vigor, and presence. Starting HP is 2d6, and you take an archetype from Brawler, Weaver, Empath, Rascal, Tough Nut, and Charmer. You then choose a background and a failed career, and that's it. You're ready to go forth and die, probably, pretty quickly, as this is an old school game with all the threat and character squishiness that entails. Every time your character dies, if you're anything like me, you'll immediately want to roll up another one. Maybe this time they'll delve a little bit deeper, live a little bit longer, maybe even retire, live happily on a farm. How do you fit an entire role-playing game in there? I thought I needed shelves full of D&D books in order to have a good time with my friends.
Yeah, with a lot of trouble, but I squeezed it in there, and you know, it's one of those things, you can play it solo, you can play it as a group, you can take it wherever you like, and also if you go into the website,
which is on screen just now. do the thing.
The Chaos,
yep.
TTRPG.com. You can get free maps, free generators, free rules for the game. And I hope you have a blast with it.
Now, let's talk about longevity and replayability. This is where most tiny TTRPGs usually struggle. They're great for a convention game, maybe a one-shot, maybe a couple of sessions at most, but sooner or later, usually sooner, the gimmick runs out, you're not really surprising the group anymore, and you're back to looking for another source of inspiration. This raises a pretty obvious question. How can something that fits in your pocket keep generating adventures after most small systems have completely run out of steam? Well, to answer that, I'm going to sit down again. Think of it like a bucket of Lego. Like this one. Now, eventually you'll have seen every single brick, but no one stops playing with Lego because they've seen all the pieces. The fun comes from making new and weird combinations like this. One day it's a castle, the next day it's a spaceship, the day after that it's a dragon attacking a pirate ship that's crewed by creepers from Minecraft for reasons only my nephew can explain. Now, in The Chaos, we can't generate infinite combinations. There's only so many entries on each table. But the interesting part isn't how many entries there are, it's how they combine. You've got locations, objectives, complications, enemies, twists, and all these different tables feeding into one another. The random tables on the cards aren't giving you complete adventures, they're giving you adventure seeds. The tables themselves are actually pretty short. It's no more than 16 options on any one card, so you're going to see repeats, and probably sooner than you'd expect. But I don't think that matters much, because the replayability isn't coming from the number of possible combinations, it's coming from the fact that so few of these prompts are prescriptive. Most of the adventure hooks, locations, and NPC descriptions act more like creative prompts than finished answers. They give you something to interpret. Look at how many of them contain questions. And it's those questions which is where the variety comes from. The same card combination could come up multiple times, but the resulting story won't necessarily be the same, because each time you'll have different characters, who with different priorities, different relationships, different hopes and fears, and different choices being made at the table. Right, philosophy time, and that means sitting in the comfy chair. The deck provides the Lego bricks, and the players, they get to build. And that's why I think the chaos has far more longevity than its size would suggest. Not because it somehow contains endless content, but because it keeps creating situations that invite the players to come up with new answers. Now, am I saying you'll never exhaust the deck? Well, no, of course not. But I can absolutely see groups getting far more mileage out of it than its size would suggest. All of that stuff about replayability is great, but it's only valuable if the game is actually fun when you're sitting down at the table. Fortunately, the chaos gets a lot of things right during play. Here is my top 5. Number 1. Character creation has a built-in story. I particularly love the failed career, not because there's any mechanical bonuses, but because it instantly creates questions. Well, why did you fail? Was it your fault? Were you framed? Do you want redemption or revenge? So before you even start, you've already got a very personal story with hooks that will dictate how your character will respond to the chaos to come. Number 2, the core mechanic is dead easy, and it's exactly what I want from a game that's built around improvisation and discovery. I never found myself fighting the rules to get back to the story. Most of the time it's a simple d6 roll and we get on with our day. That's it, the rules stay out of the way. Number 3, the world is deliberately vague. Now, for some people that'll be a downside. For me, it's one of the game's strengths. The setting feels like those old maps where unexplored regions simply say, here be dragons. It's less interested in giving you lore to memorize and more interested in giving you the space to discover things through play. Number 4, the monsters and encounters are weird. Not just like mechanically weird, but conceptually weird. Kind of creatures that make your players go, wait, what? And that is exactly the reaction I want to see at my table. Number 5, there are some wonderfully odd tables. I genuinely think Scott was left unsupervised for some of these. It's things like the how does this taste table? Well, bin juice strained through old socks, but recovers 1 hit point of stress. Now, Scott could have written anything here, but he chose to be a weird little guy, and I love him for it. Thank you, my friend. Me sitting here telling you how good the chaos is all well and good, but I can go one better. Me, Rowan and Matthew did a one-shot actual play, which is exactly as chaotic as you would hope it would be. You can find the game link below on the Renegade Rolls actual play channel, where you'll find us playing loads of different TTRPGs. Now, having said all that, I do still have some gripes. This game will not be for everyone. If you're looking for lots of canon and specific world building, then the chaos will not be the game for you. It's a setting that you build organically as you play, based on those leading questions from the cards, and it expects you to participate in the creative process. The cards constantly throw prompts, ideas and questions at you, and if you enjoy filling the blanks, then fantastic. But if you want the setting, adventures and laws fully prepped for you, you'll likely bounce off the system and prefer a game with more established lore to lean on. Now, there's also a couple of gripes I have which are more universal. Now, I know the chatty language is Scott's style and it's fun, but it makes the text harder to parse when you're trying to find the card you need. There's also no table of contents or cross-referencing the numbers on the cards. It's still a lot quicker looking through the cards than thumbing through a rulebook, but it could be slicker. Also, the fact the cards are double-sided means you will have to check on both sides to make sure you're not missing anything. If there's ever a version 2, I would love to see a super slick 54 card deck with numbers and the traditional suits and deck markings so that random cards could be drawn. Then you wouldn't even need dice. All these are minor gripes compared to the big pluses of having an entire game system in your pocket. Tell me where can I get more?
Head to thechaosttrpg.com. That's all you need to know.
What surprised me most about the chaos wasn't that it managed to fit a complete RPG into a deck of cards, it was how much creative fuel Scott managed to squeeze into that space. Every time I thought I'd found the limits of the system, another card combination, a weird monster or leading question pushed things in a direction that I hadn't considered. The deck provides the Lego bricks. Almost all those went in the box again. And the players get to build. The chaos has a lot of staying power. If you're the kind of GM who enjoys discovering the story alongside your players, I think there is so much to love here. The chaos is a lot of fun, and if you're willing to embrace a little randomness and collaborative world building, it packs a ridiculous amount of adventure into a very, very small box. To pick up a copy, go to thechaosttrpg.com and enter code Renegade Rolls, all uppercase, which is why I'm shouting, for 10% off. A skill which will make your time with the chaos even more fun is the ability to improvise. The game works because it trusts players and GMs to build on the prompts that it's giving them, which means that the better you get at improvising, the more you'll get out of the system. This video is a primer on the psychology of no prep GMing. Starting a game session with no idea where you're heading is daunting, but letting go and following the fun is totally a learnable skill. And if you can embrace the chaos, yes, I absolutely capitalized those words in my script, then your games will be incredible.